identity. And you talk a lot about how someone take inspiration, like online, right? You get this inspiration, you have this feeling, and you get tons of information. But how do we translate that to a sustainable life skill or like a habit so people could actually take what's available and turn it into something? So how would you approach that? How do you get someone from your information, after inspiration, but transfer it to a skill or like a habit?
Yep. Taking ideas and bringing them into reality, right? Because you are a person who wants to actually help people change their lives. It's not good enough to just give them information and give them tools. You want to see it manifest. Another Bible story. I'm not a Christian, but I mean, there's a lot of good shit in there. I'm not going to phrase it properly, but basically the story goes where the farmer has seeds, and he goes and he spreads the seeds. He goes out and he spreads the seeds because he needs to manifest something. Seed is an idea, right? Like your idea. What manifests is the crop and the flower and the plant, the fruit, right? But he goes out, the farmer knows that as he goes out and he spreads the seeds, that some of them will fall on rocky ground. Some of them will fall amongst the weeds, right? Rocky ground means there was no potential there to begin with. You spread your seed, but there's no potential there to begin with. It's rocky ground. Spread amongst seed, weeds, means that, look, there's potential there, but the person is stifled and surrounded by too much negativity, right? Does anybody remember the rest? Some of it falls upon, the birds take it. Some of them you spread, they fall on fertile ground, but the bird comes and takes it. Basically, that person was distracted, right? It's like everything you did was right. You put it in fertile soil, but, you know, bird took me, right? The point is that the farmer still gets up and spreads his seeds. And you got to recognize that as a spreader of ideas, and you're doing the thing, you're fulfilling your job as the farmer does, but without lamenting on the rocky ground, the weeds, and the birds. And focusing solely on the fertile ground that it's falling on. Not everyone's going to get your thing. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Do it anyway. You can't worry about everybody. You know, there was a time, especially if are you a personal trainer also?
Yeah.
So you actually work with people. You want all your clients to have great results, right? It hurts your feelings, I understand it. Like, you've been with me for 3 months and you're fatter. What am I doing wrong? Right? I know that feeling. Well, rocky ground amongst the weeds. Maybe there was never any potential there anyway. And they're just, you know, jerking around. You know, they're a nice person, but it's like, look, there really was no potential to begin with. They fall amongst the weeds. They have a really negative situation at home. Her husband is constantly, you know, browbeating her and making her feel bad about herself. Her kids disrespect her. She's not going to lose weight. That's how she comforts herself. Or, you know, fell amongst the birds. You know, it's like, yeah, you show up here, but you go and you drink on the weekend. It's like you're not focused. And it's just a part of the situation. Every one of us has our own story. We're always so subjective, right? I only know my story. I only know my feelings. I only know what's going on. But there's an objectivity to the entire thing. You do it and you don't know what's happening when you do it, but you do it because you have to do it, and you'll be shocked. There are times where, like, I'll have clients that I thought weren't paying attention. Like, you know, you didn't even get any results with me. You show up late sometimes, like, smell the alcohol in your breath. And then you see them like 3 years later, and they're like, you know what, you really changed my life. You really changed my life. There's this something you said one day when we worked out, and I went home, and I changed this. And I'm like, I didn't even, what's your name again? You know, I'm dead serious. They show me, like, you changed my life. I'm like, I don't even remember you. That's how dysfunctional you were when I met. You just do your thing.
I think my question, more specifically about my question, is that app allows people to like track their workout progress, and it links to Facebook, right? So they have this huge transformational story and this link to their friends. Their friend sees it, right? They always ask them, like, well, how did you do it? They look at the profile, they can see everything. But what I found difficult is that how do we, so I could get people inspired with the right information, but is there a method that you use to get people to build habits and life skills that, you know, get them to do it consistently? Because you talked about like lazy earlier, and It's about your system. Like, how do you get people to, you talk about new identity, right? You gotta take this on. But is it the heartbeat that you use, like the two things and constantly work on those two things as a method that you use? Or is that a process that, you know, you coach people to take it from A to B? Assuming photograph.
You just tell them. You tell them what to do and you offer the amount of encouragement that you can muster. But that's it. I know what you're saying, like you want to give them, here's the thing, information and methods are only as good as the people that receive them, right? If it was all about information, I mean, we've got libraries upon libraries, we've got the internet. There's never been a generation that doesn't have the internet. And there's still stupid people. You mean you don't know this? You know, you could use this thing called Google and you can learn all about that. Like you think it's common knowledge. Information and methods are only as good as the people. And for a true revolution or a personal evolution to take course, and this is why I talk about these things, you gotta get into people's heads. You gotta tell people, like, and again, you're only offering. Look, why don't you try meditation? Because you got all these fucked up thoughts that are like screwing up the whole thing. It's like, and that's why I try to keep things simple, like the heartbeat, because people are busy. So much going on, they're so distracted that if you just give them, look, don't think about anything. Here's what happens too, we start thinking it's right or wrong because I read another article, I saw a video, ignore all that, just do these two things. And as a professional, don't be wrapped up in whether or not those two things are the right things. What you're doing is not helping them through the method, but through the habits you're helping them instill. It's like, it doesn't matter. Oh, well, should I drink this kind of water or that water? It doesn't fucking matter. Drink tap water, I don't care. Just drink water. Don't get wrapped up. Simple. You know? But again, we can't take responsibility. You offer, you keep offering. Like I created the non-jobs thing. And I didn't create it because, first of all, I didn't create it because I want to change people's lives. I didn't create it because I want to see you guys do great. I created it because I want to. It feels good for me to do this thing. And if somebody makes something of it, fuck, man, fantastic. We were talking about this, Chris and I. Like, there's a lot of kids that come through my gym, you know, and as I was developing my business online, kids come and go, they see what I'm doing, like, and there were those that came and were interested, and I say, hey, this is what I'm doing. It's pretty cool. You know, you create workouts and then you can sell it to people. They'll pay you for the workouts, and they're like, oh, that's really cool. Could you teach me how? And I'd sit down for an hour, maybe more, multiple times. This is how it's done, this is how it is. Set this up, did you do this yet? No, I didn't get to it yet. Okay, don't worry about it, but this is what you gotta do. And it's like, I just gave you a crash course that I could charge $10,000 for. And a year later, I see him, I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, we're gonna Dunkin' Donuts. Right? Then I can have one kid show up. Hey, Elliott, what are you doing? I'm busy right now, I'm making something, I got some workouts that I wanna make for some people online. Like, yeah, so will you sell it online? Yeah. But bro, I can't talk right now. And then a year later, I'm talking to him like, bro, what are you doing? Oh yeah, I'm pulling like 10 grand a month from these basketball workouts that I sell to people online. Remember you told me that time what to do? It was like, yeah, I went and I got the book that you mentioned, and I'm like, what the fuck? You don't know. You just do your thing. And I hope that's helpful. I know I kind of ran.
It's a great metaphor.
Yeah, so you just do your thing without thinking about what's going to happen. I think we live in this insurance day and age where we want an assurance, a guarantee. Everybody wants a guarantee. I get out of college, I'm guaranteed a job. I do this thing, I want a guarantee. I want to foresee what's going to happen when I do this. How many of our clients say that? When am I going to lose 20 pounds? Like, when is that going to happen? Is it like 30 days from now, 60 days from now? We want this guarantee. And we base all of our proceeding and our activity on what is over there. Nobody knows what the fuck's gonna happen over there, but you do it anyway. Okay?